The 70s Movie Review. Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Just the facts. Star Trek: The Motion Picture is the name of an American science fiction film that was released in cinemas in the United States on the 7th of December 1979. The film was the first in the series of Star Trek movies that were a big screen spin-off from the original Star Trek TV series that aired for 3 seasons in the 1960s. The film was written by Harold Livingston, based on a story by Alan Dean Foster, and directed by Robert Wise, whose other films include The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original The Haunting, and The Andromeda Strain. Music for the film was provided by the legendary Jerry Goldsmith. Plot. A mysterious energy wave devastates everything in its path and is headed on a collision course with Earth, with the newly refurbished and untested Starship Enterprise the only thing standing in its way. Cast. The film sees the reunion of the cast of the original Star Trek series, headed by William Shatner as Captain, now Admiral, James T. Kirk. Shatner, or the Shat as I affectionately call him, has been acting for over 7 decades, and while most famous as the original and best Captain of the Enterprise, has had a string of other roles in films and television, including as T.J. Hooker on the 80s police drama of the same name, as the host of Rescue 911, and his Emmy-winning stint as lawyer Denny Crane on the David E. Kelley legal drama Boston Legal in the 2000s. As well as guest stints on the likes of Columbo and Third Rock from the Sun, and appearances in films such as Visiting Hours, Airplane 2 the sequel, and A Christmas Horror Story. Leonard Nimoy reprises his role from the TV series as Mr. Spock, and like Shatner has appeared in many other TV series and films, including the original Mission Impossible TV show, Columbo, Fringe, and the 1978 remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. DeForest Kelley, James Doohan, George Takei, Nichelle Nichols, and Walter Koenig also reprised their roles from the TV series as Dr. McCoy, Scotty, Sulu, Uhura, and Chekhov, with Koenig probably otherwise most famous as the icy psychop Bester in the 1990s sci-fi TV series Babylon 5. Trivia. After the cancellation of Star Trek as a TV show in 1969, fans had lobbied for years for it to be brought back. A new show, Star Trek Phase 2, was actually planned in the late 70s, but after the box office success of Star Wars, Paramount instead decided to take their own existing sci-fi franchise to the big screen. The theme tune of Star Trek: The Motion Picture was famously reused as the theme for Star Trek: The Next Generation, the TV series follow-up that began in 1987. The film was released on VHS, Betamax, Laserdisc, and CED video disc in 1980, with an extended cut first shown on TV in 1983, and then also released on VHS and Laserdisc the same year. A director's cut was later released on video and DVD in 2001, with the original cut released on Blu-ray in 2009. Reaction. The film grossed over $82 million at the US box office and $139 million worldwide. Although less successful than Paramount had hoped for, it was successful enough for the studio to greenlight a less expensive sequel. The film was nominated for 3 Academy Awards for Best Art Direction, Best Visual Effects, and Best Original Score. The film received a mixed response from critics and from fans, gaining criticism for an over-reliance on special effects and a perceived slow pace, although there has been some re-evaluation of this in recent years. What I think. I have vague childhood memories of finding Star Trek: The Motion Picture rather boring, which is why, despite having it on Blu-ray for several years, I only actually got around to watching it late last year, and I had really no idea what to expect. To my surprise, I thoroughly enjoyed it. No, it's not an action movie, but it is a slice of real cinematic science fiction with an interesting and compelling story, some stunning special effects, There is a little bit of stuff early on that looks a little dated and ropey, but all of the stuff inside of the energy wave looks bloody amazing, even 40 years on. And the cast, particularly good old William Shatner, are all on point. And with a running time of 2 hours 15 minutes, my attention never wavered. Unexpectedly terrific. I give Star Trek the Motion Picture a very surprised, straight A.